Hi, this is Jon Bek, and in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use your Amazon Web Server machine instance in order to start using the SQL Server Management Studio to connect to your database and start writing queries. So at this point, I already have the connection made, and my instance, of course, is started. And so I'm connected into my machine instance in the cloud using my remote desktop protocol client, my RDP client. And so I'm going to go ahead and come down here and click on the Windows button. And now if I start typing SQL, it will search for things installed on the machine, starting with SQL. Let me move the talking head out of the way here. And there's our SQL Server 2014 Management Studio, so we'll click on that. And when that starts up, it will be defaulted to connect to the local machine. And even though we are running that local machine remotely, it's in the cloud, it is a local connection from the standpoint of the machine in the cloud is connecting to the database on that same machine in the cloud. So we need to do nothing other than hit the connect button. And if we take a look at your databases, expand out the databases, we'll see we have all the sample databases with our test data this term, the 117 DB, Colonial, HCIT, Solmaris, and Tal. And let's go ahead and expand out the HCIT tables. And we can see a list of the tables that are available. So on this database, there's admissions, admissions diagnosis, diagnostic codes, labs, patient, person. And we'd like to start a query on that. So if we come up here and click on New Query, a new query window will open up. And the first thing we should do is tell it we'd like to make use of the HCIT database. And then let's just go ahead and list all of the records in the admissions table. So the statement to do that, as you'll learn from your reading, is select star from admissions. And notice we have autocomplete. If I want, I can use the up and down arrows to select the tables. And once the one that I want is selected, rather than having to tediously type out the full name, if I just hit the tab button, it will autocomplete that for me. And now if I go ahead and execute that batch, I have the results of the admissions table there. I can leave that open and create another new query. We can have a tabbed interface with multiple queries going on at the same time, and we can do the same thing again. Use HCIT, and in this case, let's select star from the labs table and run that. And there's our results. We can use the splitter bar if we want to make a little less screen real estate in one window or in the other. And we can now go back and forth from one query to another. And that's very handy if you're developing queries and you want to try something out, you can just start that out on another window. The other thing that's kind of interesting is I can have multiple batches on the same window. So I could say select star from patient here. And if I run that whole thing, I'll get two query windows because two queries are being run in this batch. The other thing that's sort of fun, very useful actually, if you want to take a quick look at something without leaving the same window, is if I highlight just one query or one part of the query, as long as it's runnable, I can't just say from patient, that's not a complete clause, but if I select an entire query, I can run just that one query and it will not run the other statements in the batch. And so that's really kind of handy. So there's patient, there's admissions, and then there's the whole thing run again, and I get multiple result sets that I can look at the same time, and I can scroll on those and whatnot. So very useful, should be pretty straightforward and pretty easy, not really any different using the SQL Server Management Studio on the remote instance than it is locally, and that's as it should be. And so hopefully that's useful to you. If you have any questions, please post them to the course Q&A discussion. I'll be happy to answer them. Ta!